What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy King 053, Mr. Easy Imale Neng, and we're back at it again with African news. Every Sunday, I try to make a round of African news that is happening in Africa so that we can all stay in par as to what is happening in our neighboring countries. As a Pan-African movement or a Pan-African person or a person concerned about Africa, you must be informed on what is happening around you. You cannot be ignorant on that. So every Sunday, you can go and check on my page, on my channel. I drop African news. I think this is the fourth time I'm doing that. It's a new thing that I'm doing in the channel. I said every Sunday we just round off the weekly news around Africa, which is very important for us to know. Because I said the reason why we're doing that is because number one, as a South African, I know many African countries view us as if we are the Dubai of Africa, and we are very ignorant as to what is happening around Africa. But that's not only true to South Africa, but other countries as well. If I ask you, for example, who is the president of Kenya, do you know? Who is the president of Uganda? Do you know? Maybe the president of Zimbabwe? And some of you don't know the Nigerian president. Do you know who is the president of Senegal? You have no idea, because why? You are living in this small ball. The Europeans have made it a good job of separating Africa into big borders so that we are kept constantly thinking about only ourselves. But we're trying to fix that in this channel. So let's go ahead and do the news. Let's start with South Africa. About 31 miners from Lesotho have died underground in South Africa after an explosion happened there. Unfortunately, the miners, in South Africa, for those who don't know, there is about maybe 2,000 mines that were closed after the ANC has taken power. Those mines, what happens when a mining company from overseas is finished mining, when they leave the place, they need to close the entries to going underground. So what happens is most companies would put dynamites underneath and blow the shaft so that no one can enter. But our miners still find a way in between the cracks to go underground and mine there. Ladies and gentlemen, there is gold everywhere. There is diamond everywhere in South Africa. There is minerals everywhere. And these people are underground, they're dying underground because they are still finding the minerals. Why is our government not opening up for small scale mining so that miners can go there and work with permits like in Zimbabwe? I don't understand. We have lost a lot of lives now. Lesotho brothers are just like South African brothers. I mean, one day South Africa is going to swallow Lesotho and they're going to be our 10th province. So, guys, 11 candidates are in the running for the Zimbabwean presidential election. This is happening in August. You guys know I've been talking about Nelson Chamisa, and we said let's vote for him. But the Zimbabweans are commenting on the comment section. Some say they love Nelson, and some say no, he's a sellout. He's working for the white monopoly capitalists. So it was very interesting to see. So 11 people have managed to raise that 430 something thousand to run for the presidential seat, keeping or staying with elections. In Sierra Leone, we have an election that was successful. They are starting to count the votes now to see which party has won. It was fairly peaceful, I would say, when I watched the news and read around about this Sierra Leone elections. Mostly it went in a peaceful manner, as best as they can, because people has been protesting non-stop in Sierra Leone and trying and begging the people that, listen, can we have a peaceful election? And when we go to Kenya, we know that in Kenya, about 26% of the children are suffering from malnutrition, dying out of hunger, not eating properly. So it is a big crisis in Kenya, and they need to cover that thing up because our children are dying out of hunger. They're not eating the proper vitamins, nutrition that they need for them to grow properly. So they grow skinny, and you think that is normal, but it's not actually. That's why I say I find it very funny that we have millionaires and billionaires in our countries that contribute little to nothing to saving the rest of the country. That's what money does to you. It makes you selfish. Too much money, they say absolute power corrupts as absolute. So money is power, excuse me. And I just, if there's any millionaires in Kenya, please assist these children, assist the schools. The children are eating at school. Let them get a proper meal at school, please. And in Malians have approved the draft of the new constitution submitted by the Jupiter in power since 2020, which with 97% of the votes. So the new party has taken power since 2020. Now they have submitted their draft of changing the constitution because the constitution had a lot of loopholes in it. So Malians, they are saying, listen, we want to change everything so that the constitution can favor us, favor our businesses, favor our operations, just favor the people in general so that the people can have more freedom in their own country. It took so long, but now they have the majority. That's what I said about the ANC. When the ANC had the majority in 1994, I think they hit something like 85% of the country votes were for the ANC. They did not take Africans away. They did not take the land. They did nothing. Here is the Malians showing us how it's done when you have the majority. Change the constitution. Change the constitution. The South African constitution, some parts have been carried from long time ago. You hear about an act of 1986, act of 1962, rubbish. That is what is happening. So unfortunately, in Sudan, clashes have resumed between the Sudan military. It's just crazy. Last week I reported to you guys that they're having, I think, a 3 days or a 5-day cease of fire, and they adhered to that because when they cease fire, the leaders meet and they try to talk to each other, but it's not helping anyone in Sudan because now they started shooting each other again. We as Africans need to wake up. This is a rubbish, this thing of killing each other, African brothers and sisters. When are we going to fix our country? When are we going to fix our continent if we are continuously shooting and killing each other? That's why the white people don't value our lives, because we are constantly acting in a barbaric way. Let's stop this thing. And this starts by me and you raising awareness of this Pan-Africanist spirit. Each one reach one, each one teach one. It will spread like that. If 10 people teach 10 people, then all of a sudden there's 20 of us. If 20 teaches 20 people, all of a sudden there's 40. If we keep on each one reaching one each month, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, I'm telling you guys, our numbers will be growing. In this channel and around our communities, wherever you are, when you see hate between two brothers and sisters, speak to them. Say, listen, let's stop acting like this. Number one, life is short. Number two, let's value life. Let's shake. We can go further together. I don't want to start preaching now, but in South Africa, the cannabis industry is going crazy, guys. And more investors are investing in South Africa because there's some online schools. You can now go to classes and learn about how to grow and harvest cannabis properly. The weed, what we call weed. In South Africa, we say pache or izol. So what is happening there is that that industry is slowly growing. Me and you are sleeping. These people are slowly slowly growing the industry. The next thing, it will be only overseas players and only the rich elite South Africans who will be in the industry and will be complaining, because cannabis very soon will be sold everywhere, guys. We'll be seeing shops of cannabis popping everywhere very soon. After the elections next year is gonna go crazy. At least 16 people, guys, have been killed in clashes in central Nigeria. Very surprising. In the very central of Nigeria, about 16 people were killed. This is the fight between farmers and herders, and it's crazy that now the army is now getting involved to try and resolve this issue in Nigeria. People are dying, guys. I don't want to report about deaths and everything, but unfortunately, that is what is happening. If we go to Egypt, an Egyptian man has been arrested by the UK British government, saying they've arrested a guy that has always been crossing people via ship to the United Kingdom from Egypt. So the man has been arrested, and it's been said that it's a big case. Now they're going to prosecute him very soon. And when you go back to Kenya, the MPs there have voted in favor of the doubling of the value added tax, the VAT, in the fuel levy. Guys, our government, they're agreeing in parliament that the fuel levy must be doubled. Doubled. What are we gonna eat? All of our money that we're working for is going to transportation and food. That's basically what they are saying. We remain poor. Very, very disappointed with the Kenyan government doing that. But I know the economical situation is forcing them. But Africans need to wake up. I mean, Kenya is one of the richest in terms of minerals. Kenya and Zimbabwe are one of the richest countries when it comes to rich organic minerals under the ground. But the people are dying. And you see in these countries that have got rich minerals like Nigeria, Kenya, and Zimbabwe and the likes, there's consistent war. There's never peace in these countries. For example, in Uganda, the opposition have called for the troops that are outside the country to come back and fight. You remember last week I told you that about 42 people were killed in a school, and I was confused. Was it students or was it people around the school? I was very confused. The news are still not clear. If you're in Uganda, please, I've got some Ugandan people on my channel. Please tell us, is it student or was it just the community around that school? 42 people that were killed last week. And the opposition party is saying, listen, we are tired. Can you call the troops that are deployed outside our country to come back, and let's fight these people with all the firepower that we have? And I think this is Tunisia. In Tunisia, there was a train where 2 people were killed and 34 injured. And again, I hate reporting on news like this. This train derailed and then it killed 2 people. You might say, oh, King, you're reporting a news about 2 people. If it was your mother and father, you would want us to report about it, isn't it? So one life lost is one life too much. People get in the train and they travel, and those people the 34 that was injured, they will forever have that fear. I remember when I had a bus accident when I was, how old was I? I was in grade 5. We had an accident. My goodness, it took me long to get used to the motion of a car moving. I had a phobia for speed. But that phobia, I can tell you, it's gone now because I love speed so much. But anyway, people don't recover easily because of what happens to them. And in Libya, one of the countries that I don't like is Libya, Tunisia, Egypt, Syria, and there's another one. Is it Liberia? Yes, these countries, they've got a tendency of treating black people like monkeys, especially Libya. Libya is number 1. And I've warned the Libyan government, I've warned the Libyan people that you are in Africa, act as such. This thing of you treating people like you know, I mean, in South Africa, people were alert with xenophobic attacks to our Zimbabwean brothers and sisters. You have no idea what is happening in Libya. In Libya, tens and thousands of people are killed every week. The media does not cover it, but that's what you're gonna hear from this channel, because here we're gonna cover all the truth. Libya is a mass grave for Africans trying to run away from Nigerian conflicts and try to go to Europe. Most of them will never make it out of Libya. That's what is happening. So that's our African news for this week. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's very sad for me to record to be reporting on such news every week, but unfortunately we have to, because we want to know what is going on in and around Africa. It's very important for us to know. And we saw that the presidential candidates that went to Russia and Ukraine had a successful talk. I don't know if it bear any fruits, but looks like there is some type of understanding between Russia and Ukraine after that African diplomatic visit, or they call it the peace, whatever they call it. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy the African news bulletin every Sunday. That's what we're doing. We're reporting on what is happening in and around Africa. If you are new to the channel, please consider to subscribe. We are 500, less than 500 views away to 5,000. So I would like to reach that 5,000 by the end of September. Please, most of you are watching the channel without subscribing. I appreciate it, but please click the subscribe button. If you don't like it, some other day you can unsubscribe, because nobody can force you to subscribe in any channel. You do it at your own terms. But because you're here, I know you're enjoying the content. Until we meet next time, please don't forget to pray and stay blessed. I salute you.